Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Andrew here. I just wanted to make a quick note before the review starts. We actually recorded this before the Anaheim convention, the weekend after we got back from Houston. So a lot of what we talk about in this review is assuming that this is out before Anaheim. So yeah, I just want to let you guys all know that um, we recorded this before Anaheim. So this is going to be released after. Anyway, also before we start, I wanted to give a shout out to Nightmare, Kunami, Josiah, and 343 and Hershin Family Entertainment for putting this all together. We really had a lot of fun, and it's going to give us memories to cherish forever. So we really appreciate you guys putting money into this. I know it couldn't have been easy, especially for a first year convention, and considering you guys, this is probably a first time for you guys. And well, you guys, well, I'm not going to spoil the review, but I think you guys will be pleased. So, with that being said, enjoy. All right. What's up, everyone? It's Andrew here. I'm the owner of Immortal Dream Entertainment, and I am here with Kunami13, who you might know as Speed Zone from my show RB and the Chief Next Gen.
Hello.
I'm also here with Josiah and KnightmareFilmz, who are two other talented Machinima content creators. And we are here to talk about Halo Outpost Discovery. So, first question right off the bat, did you guys have fun?
Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Easily the best weekend of my life.
Oh, yeah. All right, so way I want to do this. So first off, we're going to I'm going to have each of you talk about your experience, like the days you were there and like what y'all did. Just stuff like that. But you don't have to talk about what you liked and don't like. We'll get to that later. So, Nightmare, we'll start with you since you were actually only there for one day. So, whenever you're ready, just tell us about your experience at Halo Outpost.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you so much for allowing me to share this experience. I
No
only got
problem.
to go on Saturday, but I got there Friday late night with some of my friends, just some good old friends, and man, were we torturing ourselves just watching like through the window, seeing the whole setup inside the conference center, and we were like, oh, can it just be 10 a.m., general hours already on Saturday? But I was just immediately like, oh, this looks awesome. So we got up early, we got our badges and everything, and honestly, first off, I was just like, I'm excited over the little stuff. So they gave us Game Pass trials and dog tags and avatars. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I was immediately just kind of geeking out over everything. I got in line, and my first experience Halo of the day was the entire line started chanting the they started doing the Halo theme song, and
That's
everyone was
awesome.
getting into it, and I was like, I'm at the right event. Oh my gosh. So
I
it
remember
was
seeing that in your video. Which
yeah,
was pretty
yeah,
awesome.
and I can send you the footage if you need it, but it was just a
Yeah.
super cool intro to a Halo event. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And so we sprinted in, and my friends and I wanted to do the VR first, so we ran into VR, so I got to try out the Halo VR, and we went from there to the combat deck, I believe is what it was called, the laser tag thingy, and
Yeah, it was Combat Deck.
yeah, had a blast doing that, and just just talking to people in the lines along the way, and it's just kind of cool to have just so many cool people within a glance away. I saw Duquesne there, who's like a really big forager. I saw these streamers that were up on the stage, and I was actually shooting at her in the combat deck, and I was like, was that the streamer that was talking earlier? It's like, yeah, we're all playing a game together, and so that we went from there to trying out Halo Reach on the PC, which was such a buttery smooth experience. I loved it. And honestly, I know we aren't talking about like the pros and cons yet, but the lines for that were super short, and so that was cool. Got to try the ring experience and just feel super immersed in Halo and its universe. And then right after I walked out of the ring, I ran into Andrew, who was waiting for me outside, and I got to meet him and Josiah and a bunch of these awesome guys, and we got to just go play some Halo LAN. And that's unfortunately where my day came to an end, but that was a awesome way to end a Halo conference, is just playing LAN Halo with some awesome, guys, and it was a blast. It was, definitely the best Halo experience I've ever had. So that's me.
Oh yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for playing LAN with us. We really had a lot of fun, even though you guys totally kicked our ass.
It was all Josiah.
But hey, Jace got y'all a bit though. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I'm really glad I switched sides.
All right, so thank you, Nightmare, for sharing your day with us. Konami, why don't you go next?
Yeah. So
start with Friday.
Mm-hmm. So I got to Houston, I think, if I'm remembering right, I got to Houston around 9, and I had some friends of the family go pick me up and kind of toured around Houston. But when I finally got to the convention, I was a little early, and that was when I met up with Andrew, and we went to go look at like all the cool memorabilia, like the Master Chief statue, the Arbiter statue, all the different cases that had the guns and
all the different museum
pieces
and stuff.
The museum pieces. It was so cool because like one of my favorite things in the world was back when Halo did their Believe campaign. And it was legitimately like you were living it. You were just looking at these things. You were just like, oh my gosh, I'm like reliving this amazing time of my life. And like seeing the scale of the guns or the equipment or even the helmets. It just puts it all into perspective for you. Well, that and 7-foot tall Master Chief.
And that 12-foot tall Hunter, which we lined you up next to.
Yeah, they had a little display like right on the outer wall where you could line up next to a Hunter, a Covenant, one of the Flood, and a Grunt.
Flood was in the ring experience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Brute, the Elite, Prophet, Engineer, Jackal, Grunt. I think
pretty much all of the Covenant enemies, except for the Scarab.
It was just the Covenant.
Yeah, because I think the Scarab was the room.
Something of that degree.
But we did the panel, and they couldn't have the Scarab there because of the ship. It just wouldn't have worked. But we did the panel, and it was a massively successful panel.
And I will link that in the description.
It was so smooth.
Yeah.
It was ridiculously smooth.
Way better than I expected.
Mm-hmm. And considering that they butted us up right next to, I believe they butted us up right next to Steve and Jen. Like they were like 2 stages away. We had a really full audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to...
Just shows how much they love Halo Machinima.
Yeah. And we got to talk to him about all the different facets of Machinima, and I got to talk to him about voice acting, and I actually got like 4 people coming up and asking me if I could voice in their projects, so yay.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It was really neat. After that, the first day, I really just kind of went around and looked at everything. I unfortunately didn't get to play Halo LAN, but that was fine because I got to watch it, and I've never been good at Halo, so it's more fun to watch. But just like the end, I think my favorite thing about the first day was just how excited everyone was to be there. Like, even when we were doing Line Simulator over at the
Line Simulator, Pelican Training.
The Pelican Training. We're making fun of the video.
UNSC Line Simulator.
You could tell that everybody was excited to be there, even while we were waiting in line for what was legitimately almost 3 hours.
Remember how much we were like taking the piss out of the instruction video for Pelican Train.
It was great because they had the video play right up to the moment that the pelican just gets annihilated by the scarab. But that was cool too. Like the guy they had that came in and was the commander. He was excellent. And
give him a raise 343.
Yeah, give him a raise. He was fantastic. He also had fun with it. Like he said something like, "That is not a door, and if you run into that door, I will laugh."
Don't make me throw you over my shoulder
it's
like the
already
baddest
happened today. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's like, I only say that because it's happened.
I feel like if there was kids in there, like his entire speech would have been a lot different.
I think so too.
A little bit.
A little I do have to say, even though I got to see like a lot of the ring experience was one of the coolest things because they had all the different exhibits. You had a set of headphones on that was explaining everything, the history of the Halo rings, because a lot of people don't know this, but Halo actually has a pretty interesting and intense story. It's not just a game where armored Spartan men shoot each other for fun. But like that was so cool just to see like all these different artifacts, and they looked really good.
Oh yeah.
The flood in Infector form legitimately gave me shivers.
Yeah.
It was so creepy looking, but it was perfect. Like, and then like the center, which I don't know if we want to talk about because they told us they didn't want to like video.
No, we can't show it, but we can talk about it.
We can talk about it? Okay.
We can talk about it, but we just can't like film or audio inside of it.
Well, the center of it was basically the AI, and her name escapes me right now. What is it?
Gabriella.
Yeah, Gabriella, taking us like on a aerial view of a Halo world, and it's just like the screen and how they did it. It feels legitimately like what they wanted it to be, and so like that was day one. Going around and seeing all this stuff, and it was just so cool because Halo was a huge deal when it first came out, especially when I was younger, teenager, whatever I was. And as the series progressed, it was just amazing to see it like in real life, all in one place, and everybody being character and everybody committing themselves to the retelling of this franchise, which, as we discussed in the Machinima panel, has been so open to its fans. They have been unbelievably amicable with their fans, to a point where they actually added modes to help machinima makers in each of their games.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move us along because we do have a limited amount of time.
Yeah, the third day, I just went and did the stuff that I didn't get to do. I didn't really.
So you weren't there on the second day, right?
I spent a lot of time with other people. I came in, but I couldn't find you guys, so I just whatever. The third day, I did one round of the laser tag, which was awesome. I did do the Covenant escape room. I don't exactly see everybody's problem with it, but maybe because I didn't know what to expect.
See, I think you're the only one of us four who actually did the Covenant escape room.
What was I?
I didn't.
It was interesting. I thought it was fun. It was another one where you had to like work as a team.
Have you ever done an escape room before?
No, actually.
Okay. So then that might be it. Because like with me, I didn't do it, but I've done 2 escape rooms before, and so I think that's what I was expecting, was like a full-on escape room. But then I kind of realized I was like, oh, they can't really do an hour escape room for 4 people.
The lines would be crazy.
I mean, the lines are already crazy.
They already were crazy. Yeah. So my expectations were already kind of set, and so when I hear the words Covenant escape room, I'm like, oh flip, I want to do that. But I didn't get around to do
that.
I
didn't do it. I've never done an escape room, so that might be new. But the very last thing I did was I got to see the Halo Wheel of Fortune, and it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, that was
so funny.
That was Dust Storm's game show.
Dude, he killed it.
I unfortunately had to miss that because I actually had to leave early that day.
Dude, oh man, the amount of times that guy, not even that guy, just all three of them went bankrupt. And just oh man, it was just incredibly hilarious to watch because the vibe and the energy of like the crowd all kind of combining together, and it was just so great. Grim and Bravo are incredible hosts when it comes to something of this manner.
All right, so Konami, is that it for you? Did you do anything else?
Yeah, just as a final note, it's an amazing convention. If you didn't get to go
Don't worry, we'll get to that at the end. We'll get to that at the end.
And yeah, that's about all I did.
Yeah. All right. So so next up, Josiah, why don't you share your experience since you were there? I think the second most out of all of us.
Yeah. So originally, I was slated for Saturday. That's all I was going to do. I was going to fly in Friday, go to the convention Saturday, and leave Sunday. But then I was talking with A-Star, and he was talking to me about the Machinima panels, and then he eventually invited me to be on. So I was like, okay, let me try and, come there Friday. And then, Friday and Saturday having 2 of those tickets is actually more expensive than a 3-day pass. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go 3 days. And so I flew in Thursday, went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I left Sunday after the convention was over. So I got to be there for the full amount of time. And I'm happy I was, because I would not have been able to do as much as I wanted to do all in one day. But no, it was just amazing. We got our passes. We walked. I think it was down or up a floor to the actual main level, and we walked in, and it was just really overwhelming and really just breathtaking. In all honesty, I would be filming some of it, then I'd have to like stop filming or like looking at my camera and just look up and just take it all in, because like I've said, you can't describe or show the scale and the size of everything unless you're there. Everything was just bigger than it would have been on like a camera or on a video. Master Chief was incredibly detailed and fun to look at. Every model was. So we started out looking at all, everything of that and just kind of walking around. And then shortly after that, we went and did the Halo 5 FFA competition, which was also fun. Most of the fun I had was playing Halo at a Halo convention, and I felt weird like doing that. I was like, why should I be doing this at home? Why am I at a convention playing Halo? I can do this anytime I want. So that's what kind of so like it was Halo 5 FFA competition. That was super fun. I got to meet a lot of really cool people playing that, and it was just fun to just be with the people that you're playing with.
Yeah.
Because playing online, it's a totally different experience, especially with the fact that there's not a whole lot of people in game chat with talking. But so we finished up that, and then I think we walked around for a little bit more, and then I think I walked over and got prepped for the R panel, which was, in all honesty, went way better than I expected. I did kind of have low expectations for it because I didn't know what to expect. But it was super fun, and there was these 2 kids who came and sat in the front row and who looked like super excited to be there, and that just warmed my heart.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember.
They were great.
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. But there was just a lot of people. There was more people than I expected to show up.
There's a lot more people than there was in Philly. I think Philly was like 15.
Yeah, I think Philly was like 12 to like 15. I think we had like a solid.
And most of them were
30.
Mark's friends. So.
Yeah, so it worked out. Yeah, it went super smooth. Everyone got a pretty good amount of time to talk, and the trailers that we showed and the video at the beginning was a really good like mood setter. A-Star did an incredible job.
I also helped.
Yeah. It all
and Grumpy Elite
really,
too. Don't want to forget Grumpy. Me and him were up all late at night trying to help A-Star.
You guys killed it.
Thank you.
For sure. But yeah, that was just a lot of fun. And then I had to, knowing that Duststorm, he organized our panel, but he also organized all these other panels and the game show. That man just has killed it.
That dude really loves Halo.
Yeah, that man has been putting in the work to try to make things as enjoyable as possible. I'm trying to think of what I did after the panel. Because I think I walked around and I played some more Halo with my friends, and then I think I went and watched some of the community or some of the 343 panels that they were doing. It's hard to figure out what I was doing in each day because it all just kind of meshed together as like this one. Everything just happened all at the same time because I kind of disregarded the parts or like when I wasn't at the convention center. But I know we did the Pelican training simulator, and that's what kind of wrapped up the first day. But it was super fun. And so we came back onto the second day. And I think we went straight to the combat deck, which, in my opinion, was very fun for sure. And I love the sounds of the aspect, but I think it was just like the group of people I was with. I thought it was just a little bit underwhelming from all the expectations that everyone around me was kind of setting, but still fun. But I guess it was kind of like every other laser tag that I've ever done. But I think we went and did the Halo 5 competition again. There was like twice as many people on Saturday than there were Friday. It was packed, especially with the competitions. But we went and did that again. And then I think I was watching another panel, and I think that's when you texted me that Josh was there. So I went and met up with you outside of the ring experience. Mm-hmm. And then, it was around that time that we met up, and then we went and played that 4v4 match of Halo 5, which was, again, incredibly fun.
So fun.
Easily the highlight of Saturday. It was just so intense and so much fun, and I haven't had that much fun on Halo in a long time. Also the ring experiencing that, I didn't know what to expect, but going in was just, everything about this event is incredibly overwhelming. But to see the flood infection form be, just right there, I think I was trying to count how many tentacles it had, which was a really hard task to do because it came out to be a lot. But that was just fun to look at and to walk through and to learn more about the history of Halo. Because I have a friend who's actually never played the campaign of Halo, but he's been playing Halo for years, like competitively, but he's never played a Halo campaign.
Oh my goodness.
Which was really hard to believe. It's like, it's sitting there, dude. You never just once got bored and thought to, understand it. So he actually doesn't know really anything about the story of Halo. And
that's crazy.
That's weird to think about, that someone has played Halo for that long but has never cared to, to jump into that. But Saturday was super duper fun. And then Sunday came along, and which was the shortest day, but still very fun. I played in the Halo 5 competition for the third time. I won it. I got first place. I got this pair of these Astra A50s.
Are you using them now?
No, not right now. They're actually out in my pool room because we were playing Halo 5. Me and my roommates all together last night for my birthday party.
It's still a bummer that you didn't get to keep the box.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a box. It's the thing. I've got like many boxes in my closet from all my computer components that I keep. But realistically, I don't really need to, and I think that's a habit that a lot of people have. So I won that, and it took me a while for it to fully hit me that it happened, because I don't normally win anything. But that was a lot of fun, and I think shortly after that, we just stuck around and we just played some more Halo. Like, we just sat down and we just played some more free-for-all. We played some BTB with a bunch of people on Halo 3, which is a lot of fun. And then I think I went and watched the Steve Downs and Jen Taylor panel, which was also really hard to... It's hard to connect a voice that you've heard for years with a face in such a short amount of time. So it was really interesting to watch them just talk naturally. And it was just a ton of fun. And sometimes, people would come up and they'd ask questions, and people, they'd give really, interesting and fun answers to hear. And I think someone walked up and they're like, what do you need? And she stops and everyone gets quiet, and he's like, I need a weapon. And everyone started cheering, and it was just the greatest thing to watch. And then I think, and then I went to the Halo 3 competition, which I think at second round I got knocked out because I don't really play Halo 3 competitively. But I went and walked back over to the mixer stage where they were having the Halo game show, because I was like, oh, sweet, this happened Friday night, but I didn't get to watch it. And I sat down, and my friend who got knocked out the first round, I hear his voice come out the speakers, and I look up and I'm like, oh, he's on stage and he's playing. Okay, so I whip out my camera and I start recording immediately, and I got a bunch of footage of that, which was really fun. And Dust Storm did an incredible job with that. The hosts were super engaging and super fun to listen to, and everyone was just all just the energy was just super fun to be in. And I think that that wrapped up the third day.
I think you're forgetting one thing.
Oh yes, Andrew was thankfully able to get me my copy of Halo 2 signed by Steve and Jen because he got a ticket to the line when I didn't know that they were handing them out early. So I was like, okay, the signing starts at like 2:30. I'll go get in line at like 1:15. I'll make it, no problem. And then he told me that they were handing out tickets and overflow tickets at like the beginning of the day. So thankfully, my man took my copy of Halo 2 and was able to get it signed. And now it is probably going to go in a frame or something like that because that's my original copy of Halo 2, and awesome. I got it signed. That's
so sweet.
So yeah, you are very welcome.
Thank you, my man. Yeah, it's everything. In all honesty, it was the entire. I mean, I'll probably save my final thoughts for when we do that. But yeah, no, everything was way better than I expected it to be, and it was the best weekend of my life and the best way to end out my final days of being a teenager because I turned to 20 the Monday after.
Yeah, happy late birthday! I didn't
yeah,
know
that was so cool to
birthday
witness.
weekend.
Yeah, dang, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone go subscribe to Josiah. You know, give him a birthday present.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that leaves me talking about my experience.
Yeah.
So
Let's hear
my
it.
experience actually started that Thursday. And this was interesting. So we get there on Thursday around the afternoon, and you know we're walking distance from the convention center, so we decide to walk by, you know, see where the entrance is, and I can actually see like the chief sculpture through the little like glass window. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Oh,
Anyway, that's not when it started though. Later that evening, I went to Biggio's. It's a hamburger place that was across the street from the convention center. And, you know, we finished eating. We were waiting on the check. And some 343 people actually came in to Biggio's. It was one of the event coordinators, John Friend. And he's the head of consumer products, 343. Really tall guy, bald. You probably saw him around the convention. Anyway, I recognize him, and I go up and introduce myself. And we talk a little bit, and I talk about my panel, and you know, I expressed, you know, I was kind of nervous because we were at the same time as Steve and Jay's like, oh, don't worry about it, you know. It was pretty, you know, spaced out in the other air cities.
Yeah, it
and
actually worked out really well.
And so he asked me my name. I told him, you know, and I was wearing a golden jacket, so if you were there, you probably saw me. And that's how a lot of people recognized me there. Anyway, I didn't want to take up too much of his time, so, you know, I let him go. And then day one comes. And out right out of the blue, it's like I'm already like, I already know what I want. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a spot. I'm going to get a reservation for this Steve and Jen autograph thing. Because those things have like an 80 limit cap for reservations. Anyway, I go there like 9:45 in the morning, get my badge at like around 10, and then I look around for the room. And here's the tricky part. This is where they get you with the autograph room. Yeah. It's not in the main floor, and a lot of people thought it was going to be in the main floor. It is not. If you are going to like Halo Outpost Anaheim, do not go to the main floor looking for it because it's not where it is. I actually had to go up a few escalators. I got there, and I was actually like, I think one of like the first 20 people who showed up. And so, you know, I'm waiting in line, and, you know, this guy, Matt, he comes around. He's kind of the one managing the autograph stuff. And he tells us, like, we're gonna hand out tickets when we reach 80 people. And then once we reach 80 people, we go into the overflow line. So we're waiting for 80 people to show up for 4 hours. And he says, when you get the ticket, you know, you don't have to worry. You can just go explore the rest of the convention. Just make sure you get back here by 1:30. We're waiting. We've been waiting there until 1:25. And so it's just like, at this point, why even give us like tickets? Like, it's already the time that you want us to be here by. So like, if I like, that's something for like what could be improved, I guess. Anyway, finally, time's come. We're going to meet Steve and Jen, and I think out of everyone here, I'm actually the only one who went to go get autographs.
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I'm totally gonna be cool with these people. You know, I'm not gonna be, terrified. I'm not gonna forget my name or anything. I go in there, and it's a room. Like there's kind of a line in the room. There's like some tape on the floor, and you follow the tape. Anyway, it's like I'm not even scared, even when like I'm the next one in line. And then finally, when it comes to my turn to walk up to Steve and Jen, I immediately forget my name.
Oh no!
Steve's like, "Hello, what's your name?"
What am I doing here again?
But that wasn't even the best part. Okay, so before I went into the autograph line and I'm like waiting, so I take a selfie of myself, and say I'm in the Steve and Jen line, woohoo! And Jen, she looks at me and she says, "Oh my God, I saw your picture on Twitter. I love your jacket." And I'm just like,
Whoa.
"Whoa, you
bro.
recognize me?"
How?
And people think I'm crazy for wearing that jacket in the summer. I'm like, when people recognize you, then come talk to me.
Bro, like with that jacket, it's no surprise.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get my copy of Halo 2 signed by Steve, and I actually bring my copy of Mario Kart Double Dash for Jen to sign because she used to voice Princess Peach and Toad back in the last, I think 1999 to 2009, which was basically the years where I was obsessed with Nintendo. And what was
1999?
And what was awesome?
What the heck?
Was she actually remembered which character she played. She signed it as Peach and Toad, which was awesome.
I hope you remember.
Anyways, when you're like this close to these guys, and like Josiah said, like it's crazy hearing these people like in their natural voice and putting a name to their face. It is so uncanny when you're like literally like 5 inches away from them.
Oh yeah.
And they sound exactly like their characters. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. It's especially weird when like an Xbox friend, like when my Xbox friend picked me up, he got out of his car and started speaking. That was really surreal as well.
But yeah, it was crazy. All right, I'm gonna try to speed up here. Anyway, I got to hug Jen, which was awesome, and I told her thank you for being a part of my childhood. Then after that, I run into Konami outside. He's sitting at a desk. We go look at all those Halo stuff, which they were awesome, but I'm gonna get into that later. And Konami, he has to go check into his hotel, and so I go over to the armory. I talk to some of the cosplayers that I've actually been talking to on Twitter. I wasn't too focused that day on trying to get on like laser tag and VR and stuff. I was more focused on the panel. Finally, the panel comes up, and it was amazing. Like, exceeded my expectations, and I showed a trailer there, and everyone absolutely loved it, and it makes me feel so good. And Konami was just laughing like a maniac the entire thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So satisfying.
But yeah, that was an amazing experience for me, and it was cool because like the other 2 days, like some of the people in the audience, they actually went to go look at my series, and then the next day they actually came up to me and asked me to take pictures with them. I'm like,
yeah.
Wow.
I think that's probably a weird experience. Just like, especially like your first time of someone actually wanted to take a photo with you.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
What? All right. Anyway, after that, me, Konami, and Konami's friend Bianca, we decided to try out the ring experience. I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be a huge line. We literally just walk in there, like there was no line at all. There was no line for the ring experience, and like it was crazy. And because I remember like how they said like apparently this is supposed to take place in actual Halo canon, between 3 and 4. And so I'm looking at 343 Guilty Spark, and I'm like, why is this dude like not at least busted up after the end of Halo 3? And so I asked the lady, and she's like, oh, it's supposed to be an actual canon replica that was made by Oni. And I'm like, okay. Anyway, we go inside the ring experience. It's so trippy. Like I do recommend going to try it out. There was one thing about the ring experience that I didn't care much for, but but that's for a later section. After that, let's see, what did I do after that? After that, I met up with Josiah and Konami, and we all did Pelican training. And they already told you about that. They had that awesome sergeant guy. I thought I caught him like at the food court, and I was gonna go say how awesome he was after I got my snack, but he was already gone by the time I had finished.
He gone.
But yeah, after that, I went home, and first day was just amazing, and I haven't even gotten to the second day yet. So second day, so I was planning on. So second day, my first thing I was planning on doing was getting an autograph from Frank O'Connor and Max Hoberman, and I think it's going to be in the post exchange. Except then I realized, oh wait, it's in the same place as Steven Gent, and I barely make the reservation line for it.
Yeah.
And so I got Frank O'Connor and Max to do a picture with Arbiter and Master Chief from RB and Chief, which is awesome because Frank, he's actually had to fight off lawyers to keep them away from RB and the Chief, which is awesome because he's a huge fan of that series. And I actually heard him say the Chief "lol line when I was like leaving the autograph room, which was awesome. Anyway, after that, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go do combat deck. I want to see how this laser tag is. It's a 3-hour wait when I get there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm waiting in line. I'm like, oh, this is gonna take so long. And then a lady comes out and says, "Are there any single riders here?" I raise my hand, get to skip the whole line,
Oh, dude.
and
Clutch.
and I'm just like, okay. And so so I do laser tag. I get the most kills on my team, even though we got spawn killed.
Oh,
But it was still a lot of fun. Let's see. And then after that, I got something to eat. They actually had some pretty good food there. I got some Dippin' Dots. Then I went to go watch Dust Storm's panel on. I think it was like the Pillars of the Halo community or something. I don't know. And then I decided to look at my phone, and all of a sudden, Josh Nightmare he decides to finally announce on his server, "Hey guys, I'm at Halo Outpost in Houston. If you're here, you talk to me." I'm like, "Find me, I'm in the golden jacket." So I text everyone else in the server, and so Josiah's like, "Nightmare's here, where? I want to meet him."
Oh, dang.
where is this dude?
Like, he was so excited to meet you. And so, and luckily Dust Panel ended before you got out. So so me, Michael Hausman, who actually worked on RB and the Chief Resurrection, which was pretty cool, and Josiah and Jace and all of his friends, we were all waiting for Nightmare. And we see him coming out, and I'm like, "Nightmare!" And he's just like, "Oh, hey, I'm Josh." And we were talking for a good long while, and thank you so much for stopping to talk with us, Josh. That was really awesome.
Oh, of course. It's awesome.
And then of course we got to play Halo. I did play Halo Reach on PC that day too, and I only got like one glitch on there, and it was the Assault Sapper clipping into the Spartan's chest. And actually, and they have like a 15-minute time limit for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing on normal, and literally, I finished the entire mission with the ending cutscene in the 15-minute time limit.
Lucky.
I was just like, how did I do this? I even had time to kill the elite zealot. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And anyway, we play Halo 5 LAN with Josh. And it's so much fun. Even though I'm getting my ass kicked, I get like 4 kills.
It was a close match.
I'm
It was super close.
I'm a casual Halo player. I'm not the best. Anyway, and after that, Josh has to leave, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna head out too. And at this point, they're doing they're ending the 343 community playdate with Rooster Teeth on the stage. And I'm leaving. I decide, what, I'm gonna go get a dog tag. Because I entered a dog tag from Pelican training apparently, even though we totally failed it.
Wait, we could stop.
And so I get my dog tag, and then I turn around, and literally there's Gus Sorolla from Rooster Teeth just walking in the middle of nowhere, and I'm just like, "Hey Gus, can I get a picture with you?" So I got to take a picture with Simmons from
That's
Rooster Teeth,
awesome.
which was awesome.
Lucky dude.
Dude, so
And-
many people you got to
Yeah,
meet.
And keep in mind, this was like a VIP only meet and greet that was supposed to
Yeah,
happen.
dude.
And I'm
Oh man, I tried to go up there to get like in line for it, and the guy at the front's like, "Yeah, dude, it's VIP only." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
see, and here's the thing: I was like literally about to leave. If I had actually left,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten that photo.
Timing
And
is everything.
that concluded my my final day for Halo for day 2. Anyways, day 3, my final day, I decided to push my luck, and it's because I've been lucky in this convention so far. I decided to test my luck.
Again.
And so I get in the Steve and Jen line again. I get thrown into overflow. And so but finally they actually give us like 80 tickets because they all. Anyway, I get the 80 tickets and I'm like, what, I'm gonna go try out VR because I heard a lot of good things about VR. So
Bro, that line was so long.
I get to VR. It's a 90-minute wait. Not as bad as laser tag, but still pretty long. And then a lady comes out and says, "Do we have any single riders?" I raise my hand to get to skip the line again. What? Ugh.
Next year I'm going alone.
So there's a little tip for you. If a lady comes out and says, "Do we have any people who are alone?"
Just
Raise your
completely
hand.
ditch your friends.
Raise your hand. Your friends will hate you, but hey, it's
Sorry,
worth
guys.
See you guys later.
it. VR
Let you know.
VR was so trippy. Like it actually felt like I was in Halo,
Oh, yeah.
Valhalla. Like whoa.
VR is amazing.
Anyway, after I did VR, let's see, I talked to some people. I watched a panel, and then I went to go get in line early for Steve and Jen and Overflow. And Josiah meets me up there, and he won his headphones basically. And I'm like, congratulations. And I was gonna get my copy of Halo 4 signed, but Josiah, he didn't get in. So I'm like, I'm gonna do the selfless thing here. I'm gonna sacrifice my Halo 4 signed copy because I already got my stuff signed, and I'm gonna let Josiah get his stuff signed.
Thank you, my man.
And so basically we waited in there a good long time. And my parents, because I came there with my parents because they wanted to go to Houston for a vacation. And they wanted to leave at 4, and we were really pushing it. And so I get out there like 4:50, and like Konami wants to see me, so I'm like, "Konami, where are you, boy?"
Please.
It really was too.
And so that, and so, but yeah, so I basically ended my convention experience almost the same way I started it, by meeting Steve and Jen, which was kind of poetic.
Awesome.
That's the best way to end it.
I think I was probably the luckiest son of a bitch at that convention.
Probably out of the whole
It's
thing.
that jacket,
yeah.
dude. It's that jacket.
Anyway, that was my experience. So now what I want to do, since we don't have too much time, I'm gonna cut this. So what was your favorite thing at Halo Outpost Discovery? Let's start with Nightmare.
Oh, dang it.
Favorite experience, anything at all. What was your favorite part?
Okay, I know I don't want this to be a cliche cheat answer, but I'm just going to say the atmosphere was my favorite part of the Halo Outpost. And I mean that in every way, like the VR, like you feel like you're there. You look up and banshees fly over your head at the end of the match. There's music everywhere. The ring experience. There's beautiful Halo music, with the narration and just the vibe everywhere. No one had a frown on their face, and I think that was the beautiful thing. I've waited in lines at Six Flags, and it's hard because you don't share anything in common most likely with the people next to you. But in lines at this, I mean, to anyone watching this video, if you are going alone, don't even feel discouraged. Just talk to the person next to you and go, "Hey, when did you start playing Halo?" And I guarantee you, they're probably going to be like, "Oh, bro, when I was like 6 and blah blah blah." And it's just amazing. So I didn't get a chance to like go to all the machinima stuff, and I totally
We'll be
wish I
sure to
could
get
have.
you in on that next time.
I'm like, oh snap! I can't believe I didn't know that was going
Honestly,
on.
I didn't even know you were in the Houston area. Otherwise, I would have told Dust to put you in.
Oh, that would have been so cool. But it's all good. I'm glad you guys got to do that. And honestly, I'm like, I should have put something out telling people I was going to be there. But to be honest, guys, and I was talking to these guys at the Outpost Discovery, I don't really feel like I forget that I'm a YouTuber sometimes, more because I just put out content. I don't like vlog every day or anything like that. So I forgot to I was like, would people actually want to meet me? I don't know. But halfway through the event, I was like,
would people want to meet Jake Paul?
I don't know. I was like, I wonder if anyone's here. So Andrew was the first to respond. But I did get to go with my friends that I grew up playing Halo with, and we all moved on to different colleges and different life, but we got to come reunite, and that really helped with the atmosphere of nostalgia and love for Halo.
Brings you back.
Yeah.
All right, so Konami, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part's actually rather similar. The environment of the entire convention. I love the point you made about Six Flags, waiting in Six Flags lines, and how it can be so dreadful when you don't relate to anybody. But I legitimately did. I legitimately did what Nightmare said, and I was waiting in line for the Covenant Escape, and I looked at this girl and I said, "So what game did you start out with Halo?" She goes, "Oh, I started with Combat Evolved." And we had this whole 35-minute conversation about how the Flood gave us legit nightmares when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's how you speed up the line time.
Yeah. By the time we made it to the entrance of the thing, I was like, oh my god, 30 minutes have passed, and I was talking to this person about something that we both love. And if you go either this year to Anaheim or next year when they do it again, you'll see what we all say. It is quite literally a spellbinding experience that words just don't do justice.
All right, Josiah, what about you? What was your favorite part?
Oh man, it's somewhat similar, but I mean, I remember looking on the website for Outpost, and I was like, they're telling you what's all going to be there, the Hall of History and all these sort of things, and a part of me was like, man, I don't know if this is going to be enough, what if it's not as engaging as I wish? But everything there was perfect, and it exceeded my expectations. And it's kind of the same, being in a building in a convention center with hundreds of other people who share the same amount of love and passion for Halo as you do is a feeling like any other. And it was amazing. But meeting the 343 people, but the favorite thing I had was probably either just playing Halo with people and having an incredible time, or the Halo game show, or the panels that they have up on the mixer stage. It was a lot of fun to be in.
All right, for me, I got similar to y'all, but I'm not gonna say the atmosphere. I'm gonna say the community. That is just around Halo, a lot of we know the memes Halo's they got all those toxic kids, but if you really think about it, the Halo community is really awesome. There's so many awesome people here. And before I forget, I actually did get an autograph from Grim Brother 1, and he actually helped us get the Machinima Panel attention, and by retweeting my tweet for the Machinima Panel, and I thanked him for that. And he's like, "Hey, it's no problem. We were glad to have you here." So, Grim, if you're watching this, thank you so much again. It was awesome meeting you. But yeah, it's not the experiences that make this convention great. It's the people in it, and that's not just the fans. Even the staff did a great job.
Oh yeah, they nailed it.
And also, whoever was doing the instruction video for laser tag, you could tell how invested he was in his performance, and he was amazing. And he literally even goes as far as saying, "When I joined the Corps, we didn't have any fancy battle rifles. We had 2 sticks and a rock for the whole platoon. And we had to share the rock." I even said the line with him. I'm like, I love this dude. And
nice little nod.
But yeah, just the atmosphere is amazing, and it's it makes you wonder how they're going to improve it in the future.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Where can you go from here?
And speaking of improvements, let's move on to the next section. What could be improved? What do y'all think they could have improved here? Let's start with you, Nightmare.
Okay,
start with you, Nightmare.
And I know we're saying the lines were part of the positive aspect of we got to meet people and talk to people. But yeah, honestly, the only thing I had a complaint about was just the long lines. The first thing I went to was VR, And so I didn't even, we skipped the museum, we skipped all that stuff. We sprinted straight to the VR line, and we waited 3 hours for 3 minutes of VR. And it was worth it. You know, it was fun, but I think, honestly, I don't even know if they were expecting that many people to be at each attraction. So I know this was like kind of the first year, but maybe in the future years to come, just to account for that, maybe somehow, I don't know, maybe just to like look at the amount of attendees that are coming and be able to respond to that with maybe there's going to be more attractions in the future, or if there was like 4 VR stations going instead of just 2, maybe the line would have gone better. But yeah, it's just the line, it's just the wait time for me.
All right, Konami, what about you?
You know, we talked about how overwhelming of a thing it was to be there, but one of the things that would just absolutely just make that spellbinding experience more is if the room that they take, they design like the rooms or the walls to like the interior of a ship, or like the Halo world or something like that. And they already kind of did this because in the Ring experience they made the walls look like a Halo world. And so, you know, depending on the space, there's so much you can do. Like, there was beams up above, and I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if they like looked like the structure beams on one of the outposts in Halo 2, or you know, stuff like that. It's just take what you have in the room, and I mean, I know this isn't a word, but Haloify it up. Because legitimately every single thing you do at that point, you physically can't do it wrong. And if you like do that, and there's just, when you walk into the room, everything is Halo down to like what the walls look like, your convention will be unforgettable.
All right. Josiah, what about you? What do you think?
Well, this is the runner-up to my actual answer, but make the food less expensive. The water was like $4 a bottle.
Yeah.
That might just be me.
It was UNSC water.
Yeah. I was like, how much is the water? She's like $4, and I'm like, I'll just wait till I get home. It's okay. But no, it was kind of the lines a little bit. I really don't have anything to fault, in all honesty, because everything was just blowing me away. I couldn't find any, you know, time in the day to be mad or be you know, upset at anything. But it might have been the lines. I will say though, the Pelican training, you know, when we were in line there, I was like, I think there's 2 of them like happening, it's like side by side, which I didn't expect.
There was. Remember how we kept joking?
That was a smart thing to do on their part, for sure.
Remember how we kept joking about like people going in there not coming out?
I was really but like day 3, we arrived, and we like with Nightmare, we sprinted to the VR line. But even when we got there, we got to the point where it was a 90-minute wait, and we were like, are you freaking kidding me? So I don't know, maybe for next year have like, you know, 2 of those going on or something.
Yeah.
Because I know like there was a lot of like open space. Which I know, you know, and not every convention center from each city is going to have the same amount of, you know, dimensions for the area. But yeah, just mostly just the lines and the wait time. I do know they've gotten better from, you know, since Orlando. I know Orlando had a lot of
Orlando was the
that.
beta test.
Yeah, but I got to meet like the brains of the whole operation. He was telling me, he was like, Orlando was our alpha. I think it was Philadelphia or Chicago was the next one. He was like, that was our beta. And then the third one was like where we were really starting to get everything, you know, rolling and, you know, good, and we were kind of getting a handle on anything. And he said, when we get to Anaheim, it's gonna be great. I'm like, that's awesome. So just lines.
Yeah, you know, when I was there, John Friend, because I did run into him a few times, he did recognize me. He actually introduced me to the CEO and president of Herschend Entertainment, and they're the other company they outsourced. And fun fact, the CEO actually has the same name as me, so we had something in common.
That's
and,
cool.
And they asked me how I was enjoying it. You know, I told them, you know, this is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, what do I think could be improved? I have a few kind of nitpicks. First off, in the Ring experience, there's this one part. It was in that area with the spinning ring piece, and it's not the ring piece that I have the problem with. It's okay. So you know, like on the side, they had that painting of the UNSC honeybees. I just thought it was so awkward, like looking at the painting and then just hearing like the noises of the honeybees. I'm like, you couldn't put like a like a video up there or something. Like I felt like I know I can understand because like budget, but it's like I felt like they could have like added in like some kind of video or something. I don't know, maybe something for later. That's one thing that they could have put in. I also do agree they could have made like the wall, like they could have put some UNSC banners on the walls. Like even that would have made it feel a little more Halo. I think, and that would be more cost. That'd be more, you know, that wouldn't be as much as like making the entire interior look like a ship, because you know how hard that would be. Let's see. I didn't get to try Covenant Escape, so I can't say whether or not I would improve anything in that. And the last thing I probably would have changed, when I got to the armory stage, and it's not the problem with the stage per se, I just thought that the screen that we would be showing the videos on would be a lot bigger, but it was just kind of a tiny little television. I'm just like, huh. So like I kind of wish like they would put like a big projector screen up or something that, you know, we could like project it on, because you know I felt like you can't really see my videos that well on a little tiny TV. Anyways, just a little nitpicks that I had, easily fixable in my opinion, except for the honeybee thing. Other than that, everything else was just great. It's just, you know, tiny little nitpicks. Oh, and for the autograph line, don't wait for people to get to 80. Like, just hand out tickets to the first 80 people who show up. You know, it'll just make it go a lot faster. We don't want to be sitting there for 4 hours waiting for 80 people.
Yeah, that would help. I do. Yeah, I knew they improved the experience, especially with like the whole signing thing from the first one. I think from the first, you know, in Orlando, it was really kind of a mess, is what I heard when it came to the whole signing thing, because I guess they didn't.
They didn't expect that everyone would want an autograph from Master Chief.
They eventually would like I think they like had to like cut the line off at a certain point.
They cut the line off, and then they did a
they raffled them.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oof.
Anyway, let's see. What else was I thinking of? I think there was something else, but I forgot what it was. Anyway, but it's probably not important. Sketch did address the 80 ticket thing on the subreddit, so I think they will be changing it. So thank you, Sketch, for taking notice if you're watching this. Anyway, yeah, I think here's a part where we should start wrapping up. So what we want to do now, I want you guys to give a rating for this convention, 1 out of 10, and give, you know, your final thoughts on it. So I will start with you, Nightmare.
Yeah, call me naive. I was only there for 1 day, so I felt like there was so much that I missed, but I would definitely give it 9.5 out of 10 for sure. I have my Master Chief helmet that I bought there right here on my desk. Yep. I'd say this event is exactly what I needed as a Halo fan, and it was a dream come true, but I think it's exactly what the community, as you were talking about, Andrew, needed as well. Halo's back. It's alive. It's big. I went home and got right into. I don't even read Halo books, but now I do, and I'm watching The Fall of Reach for the first time on Netflix, and I'm just super into Halo after this event, and I think a lot of people are too.
I modded my Fallout 4 into becoming Halo 5. All right, so what about you, Konami? What do you give this?
With everything I did, with all of the attractions I did, I'm giving it a solid 9.
Solid 9.
It was absolutely incredible. Just like Nightmare said, Halo is back. It legitimately feels like you're walking into a piece of history, and that's not an easy thing to do. I don't know much about the Orlando, but the Houston one blew my expectations out of the water. And like I said, I think if you guys just implement those design changes, maybe not all of the ones I suggested, because money, but I think if you guys do that, you're really going to have something on your hands that's just going to be something that people will tell their grandkids about.
Yeah.
Daddy, could you tell me about Master Chief? Let me tell you the story of this amazing man. All right, well, thank you, Konami. Josiah, what about you?
Oh man, easily like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. Obviously, it's not perfect. And, we had our nitpicks, but in all honesty, for a convention and for this being its first year, and for how quickly they took criticism and they applied it from each city to city, that's unbelievable. It was overwhelming and it was perfect, and I couldn't have imagined it any other way. And it was something that I will easily, if they do it, the next year, I'm going to be going to every single year, because it gives you a sense and a scale of Halo as a story and as just a series in itself, as well as the community. Because that it's hard to get a good sense of the community when you're not in a space like that, or you're not constantly going to events. But I've always wanted to go to a Halo event, whether it be a competitive one or something like that. But this was easily one of the greatest experiences of my life.
I do want to make it perfectly clear. None of us were actually given any special treatment. We all got general admission passes. None of us got VIP.
I'm not that important.
343 didn't pay us here, so so I just want to get out of the way. Okay, here's the thing. I've been to a lot of conventions. I've been to Comic Palooza in that same convention center. I've been to CypherCon so many times in my own city. I've been to I've been so far with conventions, and I've been to so many. And out of all of them, I think this is the one I had the most fun at. And that says something, because I am a huge convention guy. And it's because it just feels so down to earth, and it's just like free autographs. Who can argue with that? I mean, honestly, it's just amazing. And so I think the price was worth it. And even there were a few nitpicks, but to be fair, this is a first year convention, so they're still working to make it better. I am going to give this, because I was so lucky through it, I'm a little bit biased, I'm going to give it a 9.8 out of 10. So, and that's because I just got lucky. So, but it might not have been luck. I just took opportunities. That's one of the biggest things here. Take opportunities. Don't think, just act. It's like an actual game of Halo, basically. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much an average of 9.5 around the board. And we all had a great time, and it was so awesome to meet all of you at Halo Outpost Discovery, and I really hope it does come back down here next year so we can do this again.
Yeah.
So so I want to thank Konami, Nightmare, and Josiah for doing this video review with me. And if you have any other questions, do feel free to comment down below, and I'll try to get those answered as quickly as possible. But thank you guys for doing this with me. It's been an honor to meet all of you guys.
Yeah. Likewise.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for doing this, and I will end the video here. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.